So hello and welcome to the video. Restrictions have eased another notch here in the UK, so today I am off to London to have some fun, as a certain limited amount of government controlled fun is now possible. Decent day for it, although it was raining just a couple of minutes ago. There's been a lot of controversy in recent years about the construction of a high-speed rail link from London to the north of England, which will take decades to finish and cost tens of billions of pounds to build. Despite having invented the railway, as with many other things, Britain lags most of the developed world in its exploitation of a high-speed network. Indeed, it lags most of the non-developed world too. That development is known as HS2, High Speed 2, which does rather beg the question, where is High Speed 1? Well, dear viewer, I can tell you that High Speed 1 exploits the rail infrastructure that was built to support the Channel Tunnel and runs through Kent up to St Pancras in London. And today I'm going to travel on Britain's fastest train, Asterisk, from Folkestone to London. So stick around! Hi, I'm Matt. Over the last 25 years I've travelled a lot. I've lived in 5 countries on 4 continents. I've flown over 1.3 million miles. I've visited over 100 countries, every American state, but I'm nowhere near done. So subscribe to the channel so you can come with me. This is Folkestone Central Station, in the heart of Southeastern Rail's corner of England. I bought my ticket a couple of days in advance of travel through trainline.co.uk. I did a quick price comparison with other ticket sites, and fares on Trainline were considerably cheaper. Not a comprehensive analysis, but it was quite interesting, and I may well make a dedicated video about it later. I suffer from hearing loss, which qualifies me for a disabled person's rail card, which gives me and a companion a 33% discount. So the return fare cost me £19 after a small fee to Trainline. I think that's pretty good. Mine was an off-peak fare, and it is considerably more expensive to travel during rush hours. Folkestone Central was built in 1884 and currently has 2 platforms. The remnants of a further 2 platforms are clearly visible, which were decommissioned in 1999. The Channel Tunnel opened 5 years earlier in 94, and whilst it has helped Folkestone in some ways by bringing employment, it hindered it in others, as a lot of traffic now bypasses the town. Folkestone Harbour had had a ferry service to France for 150 years when the tunnel opened, and that service limped along until 2001 when it was shut down for good. One further benefit of having the tunnel on Folkestone's doorstep is that Southeastern was able to launch a high-speed service to London in 2009. That service is operated by Javelin trains, or Class 395 trains if you prefer. They are named after Olympians, although this one didn't seem to be, and have a maximum speed of 140 miles per hour, which is way quicker than the old trains that used to service Waterloo East, Cannon Street and Charing Cross, and actually still do. It used to take around 1 hour and 40 minutes to rattle your way into central London, and now it can take as little as 52 minutes to get to St Pancras. That's great if you work by St Pancras, but it will still take about 1 hour and 40 to get to Charing Cross, as you now need to take 2 tubes to get there, as there's no direct tube connection. After a stop at Folkestone West, still on the old tracks, you quite quickly pass the branch lines in and out of the tunnel network. You still don't pick up huge speed from there to Ashford International station, which in normal times is the nearest point to the coast where you can board a Eurostar train to the continent. Service from there though is currently suspended, and normal times are not expected to return until 2022, which is a cause of some controversy in that corner of Kent. The train had been about 10 minutes late into Folkestone Central, and it turns out that had been because of a faulty door. We were parked up for a while at Ashford, but the communication from the train team was very good. In the end, the driver needed to call the help desk to ask for assistance, and, believe it or not, they told him to turn the train off and turn it back on again. This tells you quite a lot about how modern trains work. So the train was rebooted, which took a couple of minutes, and bingo, the doors were fixed. They then announced that as the next high-speed train coming in from northeastern Kent was only a couple of minutes behind us, our train would not stop again before St Pancras. After Ashford, the driver can hit the gas. There's no internal speedometers to see how fast you are going, which is a bit of a shame. Travelling at 140 miles an hour sounds great, and it is Britain's fastest train. In my intro, I added an asterisk to that statement. That's because Eurostar trains travel on the same tracks at up to 186 miles per hour, but Eurostar is majority French owned, hence the asterisk. Mainline intercity trains are only 15 miles per hour slower, as they can hit 125, but this is the fastest. Even so, it's still nowhere near the top 10 of the fastest trains in the world, and is only 52% as fast as the Shanghai maglev, which hits 267 miles per hour. Many European high-speed trains will hit 200, but this is the best that we have here. Through Kent and over the River Medway, some clues as to the speed you're going from the cars on the nearby M2. The next stop should have been Ebbsfleet International, another international station that currently isn't and won't be again until next year. I got some footage when we stopped there on my journey back, although it doesn't look that different from the other stations, if I'm honest. It was built to spark regional redevelopment in the spirit of, if they build it, they will come, but I think it's fair to say that not much has come in the 14 years since it opened. Quite quickly out of Ebbsfleet, you cross the Thames via a new tunnel. You get a nice view of the Dartford crossing on the other side. Building railways into or around London is never an easy project, and a lot of the route ended up needing to be buried. The extensive tunnels and the few bridges that were needed along the 67 miles of new railway ended up being almost as long as the Channel Tunnel itself. Much of that tunnelling starts outside Stratford and is briefly interrupted by Stratford International Station, footage here again from the return leg. This is the third international station of the journey, and again, this one currently has no international traffic, but it distinguishes itself from Ashford and Ebbsfleet in never having had any international traffic, as it has no facilities for handling international arrivals or departures. It still gets the international name though. Be aware that although there is a Docklands light railway station next door, the tubes and the mainline Stratford station are a fair hike away from this international station, accessed through the Westfield shopping centre. Out of Stratford into yet more tunnels before the final mile overland past a very picturesque canal into St Pancras station. You park up next to the Eurostar platforms. It was really stark and not a little depressing to see all the platforms so empty. I think there was a short train on the furthest platform, and service has continued through the pandemic, but it was a harsh reminder that although things are loosening, there's still a long way to go.
So there you go, Folkestone to London St Pancras in just about an hour, even with a lengthy delay. Shows quite how quickly these things can shift if they don't have to bother about those pesky station stops. It's great to get here so quickly if you actually want to be in St Pancras. If you don't, then it's only a short hike to the tube station, where you've got a choice of 6 tubes plus the Thames link. And if you fancied doing that sort of comfortable trip every day as a commute for the princely sum of £7,484 a year, your wish can come true. That's the cost of an annual season ticket from Folkestone to London. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.